Diaspora Matters have called for reinforced networking as critical to promote diaspora engagements for national development. This was the key message at the 4th Summit of Standing Committee on Diaspora Matters and the State Diaspora Focal Point Officers Summit, organized by the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission and the International Organization for Migration in Abuja, and 3 Nigerians appointed into Canada's government. Even more interesting news is a Nigerian promoted to Brigadier General in the United States Army. That indeed is our diaspora of the moment. This is your favorite show, The Diaspora. I am Shaliwa Jila, your host. Please stay with us. Mr. Victor Lutenko is the representative of the Chief of Mission, International Organization of Migration, IOM.
What are the key ingredients to make this work for the country? That's another big question that I have. And answering this question to me is the 2 key elements. The first one, if we want to engage Nigerians abroad, the key ingredient is trust. We have to trust each other. And trust doesn't happen overnight. It's something that we invest day by day, something that we have to work on for a long period of time. And how do we get this trust? One of the ways to do that is to have actions that are principled, right? That are not based on the moment, the necessity of the moment, or on satisfying a particular group, but are based on a set of principles that an institution is following. If we are saying that we are supporting all the Nigerians who are abroad, first of all, we put their safety and their life, then we do that charter from the Dubai, and we bring all of our people back home, and then we discuss the implications, and then we discuss how we avoid it in the future. But first, we help the people. And for that, I'd like to commend the NITCOM and the Nigerian government for being principled in supporting its people wherever they are.
Speaking via Zoom platform from Seoul, South Korea, Chairman CEO NITCOM, Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri Erewa, OON, emphasized on the need for effective collaboration from Nigerians at home and in the diaspora for meaningful national development, especially at the grassroots.
For me, really, NITCOM just needs to be strengthened. I'm not even sure the ministry is what we need in terms of, because ministry can be bumped down with bureaucratic bottlenecks. But I think the most part that NITCOM needs to be strengthened. NITCOM needs, to function better with a few more, with better funding. So I want to thank IOM in particular for the support you're giving us, and we know that we have not disappointed you. We had a great event in South Africa, in Mauritius, where Dr. Bassi represented us, and I'm told he did very well there. And thanks to IOM for making that happen, and thanks to a lot of things. So we hope that we continue to strengthen this partnership. And here in South Korea, we have thousands of Nigerians, and even some friends that I'm seeing here, particularly students doing great things. And it's also historical that an Indian diaspora very soon will be sworn in as the incoming British Prime Minister. I think that is good news for the diaspora. And I'm hoping that with the wealth of experience of Nigerians in the diaspora, a lot of them getting more about the politics, maybe someday Nigerian diaspora will be the president of some country in the world. So we hope that we continue to strengthen issues of diaspora. We hope that we continue to emphasize the importance of the diaspora. As we have said times without number, we cannot ignore our diaspora. We have to work with them. And thank you, IOM, for working with us. Thank you, IOM. We hope that we'll strengthen the partnership and look forward to the outcome of this meeting and implementation of everything that we come up with here.
Thank you, Ma, for your passion for development of Nigeria. Ms. Zeldin Eleni is the representative of the Ambassador of the European Union to Nigeria and ECOWAS.
I would like to reiterate our willingness to support diaspora and the efforts of the Standing Committee on Diaspora and the efforts of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission in mobilizing diaspora for national development purposes and for the purposes of national development and migration altogether. So I really want to congratulate the efforts already made through the project, through the EU-IOM joint initiative, and the IOM team for gathering all these people regularly and mobilizing you to gather and work on these issues together. But also I'd like to thank the Nigeria in Diaspora Commissions at all levels, the chairman first foremost for her dedication and ownership of the process, but also your involvement and the involvement of the focal points around the country that make this process very unique. So we do recognize from our side how important diaspora is for purposes of national development, and I really hope that we can all make a difference by making the national diaspora policy more operational and by making this process count even more.
Let's join Boyaliko for some messages.
Ha! Not so fast.
Look, I'm tired. I want to check out of this country for greener pastures.
Just calm down for a moment. Please sit down. Do you have a job where you're going to?
No, but someone is arranging,
Listen, Aliko. Checking out of this country without proper planning means one thing. Unimaginable begin. You know, I've been in the diaspora, but legitimately doing great things at home and abroad. As I've been saying, without the proper footing abroad, the risk is not worth it. Listen, Alinko, it's better to be home than be trapped abroad, or even end up in prison.
If you must travel, travel legitimately. Now let's hear from the Secretary to NIDCOM, Engineer Dr. Sule Yakubu Basi, as he sets the context for further conversation.
As you are aware, on the 28th of April 2021, the Federal Executive Council approved the National Diaspora Policy. And this policy was thereafter launched during the National Diaspora Day celebration 2021. And most of us in this particular room, if not all, I mean members of the Standing Committee on Diaspora Matters and the State Diaspora Focal Point Officers have copies. I have a copy here. In the policy, the concept of the diaspora was clearly defined as Nigerians that have lived outside the sovereign boundaries of Nigeria continuously for more than 1 year. They have a sustainable means of income and an address where they can be reached, and they are living there legally. Of course, we have the cases of people who migrate irregularly, and as you are aware, we have another federal agency, the National Agency for the Prohibition and Trafficking of Persons, NAPTIP, that handles irregular migration. So the Diaspora Initiative is mainly an initiative for regular migration, for people who are out there outside the sovereign boundaries of Nigeria. Every diaspora has 4 things he brings to the table. 1 is resources, the second is skills, the third is talents, and the 4th is global exposure, especially in terms of global best practices. So in NIDCOM, we have taken that definition literally.
Thank you, Dr. Basi. Now, Ms. Elizabeth Poach, Program Officer on Migration, IOM, gives an update on the progress of the implementation of the National Diaspora Policy.
IOM implemented between 2017 and 2021
IM supported in the inauguration of a standing committee on diaspora matters. The standing committee, we have members of the standing committee here, and it was recommended by the National Migration Policy to ensure the coordination of diaspora activities in the country, and also to support in pushing for the adoption of the policy by the Federal Executive Council, because when this was instituted, the policy was still in progress. It wasn't validated nor adopted. So, IM supported the validation, the development, and validation of the terms of reference of the standing committee. The standing committee have a terms of reference, and that will happen in June 2018. IM also supported the development and validation of the national diaspora policy. You know, we cannot be talking about the diaspora engagement if we don't have a policy in place. So I thought it wise to support the government of Nigeria to develop the national diaspora policy, and also supported in facilitating for the adoption of the policy in April 2021. I am also, following the adoption of the policy, I am printed and disseminated 2,000 copies of the national diaspora policy to stakeholders. Further strengthen the capacity of staff of the Nigeria in Diaspora Commission on policy implementation, monitoring and evaluation, and diaspora engagement. IM has been supporting regular meetings of the Standing Committee and State Diaspora Focal Contact, where this is the fourth summit of the Standing Committee and Diaspora State Diaspora Focal Contact, and IM has been supporting the regular meeting or quarterly meeting of this body.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Now let's get some interventions from some members of the Standing Committee and State Diaspora Focal Point officers.
I must submit that the action plan is quite comprehensive. You know, it has to do with coordination, political inclusion, participation, health, and various sectors. Now, the Secretary has mentioned them, but we want to see how this calculates down in the various states. It is going to be very difficult for the Standing Committee, for instance, to give the kind of assessment that is being expected as per the agenda, because the Standing Committee itself has not met for the last 2 years. So this is the first meeting, and it's meeting with state coordinators. I'd rather think that it's the state coordinators that will tell us the activities within their states of diasporans, you know, engaging with various states and what they've been doing with various sectors.
I think it is important that as members of the Standing Committee, which we all are, it is important to also outline the activities we have done in our own different areas in fitting into the action plan that is going on. You have to come as a coordinator. And the only way they can coordinate is if information comes to them. And this is the opportunity for such information to come to them. It enables us to explain what each and every one of us is doing, how we manage our activities, and agree on action steps going forward. In that regard, I would like to speak to what DTCA has been doing with regard to the action plan that we have under the diaspora policy. Now, first of all, we must bear in mind that prior to the coming on board of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, DTCA had largely acted as an interface with the diaspora and engaged with the diaspora, albeit those who have expertise in different levels. And that is where DTCA's engagement comes in, with diaspora experts in different areas.
We are trying as much as possible in encouraging other countries to be able to sign bilateral agreements with us to protect our nationalities from some of these issues, or wherever they are as diasporans working or doing whatever they are doing. But I want to also request for as many of us or agencies or other MD ministries that sign MOUs or agreements that have to deal with these issues, we would appreciate if Ministry of Justice is in the know forward us such information, because that is part of what will guide us also when we go ahead to negotiate these agreements, to impute new articles to make sure it's protective enough of the interest of our national and the diaspora. Thank you very much.
So far, we're still trying to fully function in the FCT. We're presently we've been able to succeed to be included in the 2023 project, so that we can now fully set up an office and then get all the necessary equipment to fully start. So far in the FCT, diasporans from Canada in 2 groups came to the FCT and also started 2 renovation projects for the female hostels in Abuja Children's Home Karu and then Guapo Children's Home Gwapolada. All completed, and there was an opening ceremony concerning that. And then the Nigerian Diaspora Organization, Europe and UK also visited the Albino Foundation, FCT, and the School for Autism Children at Apple Dusi and gave a cash donation. Presently, the FCT for returnees with the FCT indigenous, they're usually taken to the Muslim pilgrimage camp and are given medical attention for those that will need it, and transportation allowance so that they can go back to their various villages or houses of relatives within FCT.
Let me commend the excellent synergy that exists between NIDCOM and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and of course IMO office for all that it has been doing. I think I've sat in this kind of gathering, this is the 3rd time, and IMO is fully involved in that. We want to thank you, appreciate you for that. And the present government in Gombe State actually is doing a lot. Considering that Gombe State is barely just maybe 2 years after joining the NIDCOM activities. But I can tell you that he has been very supportive and very encouraging. He's giving us all the necessary support that we require to work. Let me also make it clear here that we are very open and we are very passionate about collaborating with NIDCOM and other stakeholders to move these activities such as this one forward. Our actions are being guided by the National Diaspora Policy document that was signed by Mr. President, because that is the only authority that we have to operate under. We are certainly, for everything we do, my governor will say that, is it, why is it, and I will show you. And so we are guided by that. Now, whether or not Gombe State has achieved a lot in terms of its diasporas, we have seen that in the few years that happened right from the COVID period. I know that some Gombe diasporans have donated millions worth of equipment and some medical consumables to Gombe State. And we thank them also for that, and we want to say thank you.
And now, the amazing news. Nigerian-born Amanda Azubike gets promoted to Brigadier General in the U.S. Army. NIDCOM boss, Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri Erewa, sends congratulations to her for reaching such a milestone in the United States military and making Nigeria super proud.
Please rise for the publishing of the orders. Attention to orders. The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Amanda I. Azubike. In view of these qualities and demonstrated potential for increased responsibilities, Amanda I. Azubike is authorized and directed to wear the uniform and one-star insignia of Brigadier General, effective 28 October 2022. Signed, Lloyd J. Austin, Secretary of Defense. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
I believe my journey is a true testament to my family, my faith in God, and also this great country that we live in. I think it's what my mother dreamt of when she left and decided to immigrate to this country all those years ago. I think you can tell if you met any of my family members that we are very proud of our African heritage. And I think that it's that heritage, that foundation, that journey that has got me here today. It all starts with my last name, Ezubike, a very common name in Nigeria, much like Smith or Johnson. It is from the Igbo tribe. And translated, it means the past is your strength, your back is your strength, experience is the best teacher. And to be clear, my name is Nigerian because my dad is from Nigeria and was born and raised there, but my mom was born in Zimbabwe. I am of a mixed African heritage. So on occasion, I will joke and say, I am truly an African American. I am committed to paying it forward and helping to pull others up. I'm honored to be selected to serve at this level, and I feel fortunate to be serving in my current position at Cadet Command, because I really believe I can contribute here in a meaningful way.
In another development, the Chairman CEO, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri Erewa, OON, has congratulated 3 Nigerians, Mr. K.C. Madu, Mr. Akulisa Ufudike, and Mrs. Funke Banjoko on their respective recent appointments into Canada's cabinet. Mr. K.C. Madu has been appointed as Deputy Premier and Minister of Skilled Trades and Professions. Mr. Akulisa Ufudike appointed as Deputy Minister at Alberta's Ministry of Trade, Immigration and Multiculturalism, while Mrs. Funke Banjoko became the first Black woman to be elected into the regional municipality of Woods Buffalo government, McMurray, Alberta, Canada, respectively. Dabiri Erewa described their appointments as heartwarming and a thing of pride. She added that this is an eloquent testimony to the resilience, hard work, and dedication of Nigerians wherever they find themselves. The NIDCOM boss noted that Nigerians are breaking the glass ceiling globally, and especially in Canada, which has been a stream of successes and winnings. Recall that only recently, Ayo Owuduni was elected City Councillor in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, and Khadija Mahmoudou Aliru got elected as Councillor Ingersoll of Ontario County, Canada. There is no doubt that you really had a swell time with us on the program today. Do join us again same time next week on your favorite show. I remain your host, Shalewa Ajena. Bye for now.